We don't believe that life begins at birth and ends with death, but our spirit lives again and again. When we talk about Buffalo people, we're not talking about Buffalo and Lakota separately. It's all one. Our creation stories, our origin, says that we come from the buffalo. That's no different than believing you come from the monkey or from Adam and Eve. Naturally, they would become very central to our spirituality.
My name is Arvo Looking Horse. I'm the keeper of Sacred Pipe of the Lakota Nation, 19th generation, and I am a spiritual leader, and I wear headdress for the people. So I am here to pray for peace and harmony upon Mother Earth, and to walk with prayers for the health of the first people, the Buffalo people. That's who we are, and the Buffalo today, our relatives, to pray for their health and their well-being. So that's what we are here for, is to pray.
What's really sad about today is that, we've called for a National Day of Prayer because we feel a lot of these buffalo have died without proper ceremony, without surrendering their spirits, as we believe they have to do. And just a mile or so down the road, they're shooting them at the very same time. And, it just presents an extreme contrast, to our value in wildlife as opposed to the state of Montana. Going from the ceremony to this scene, it just it's very chilling. The callousness that some parts of humanity have towards, the buffalo. We're not quitting, definitely, because we just can't allow this to happen anymore.
How old do you have to be to get arrested?
How old do you have to be to get arrested?
Yes.
The spirit.
You don't need to handcuff her!
You know what leadership is when everybody steps back and you don't, so you're up front. It's reluctant leadership, but it comes, you know you're facing a huge challenge. Mike, I came across him basically documenting this slaughter, and we ended up starting up at first we called it Buffalo Nations, and then Buffalo Field, it morphed into Buffalo Field Campaign.
I really appreciate the presence of Buffalo Field Campaign. They've been very effective in their job, but the Native people are trying to do something else. There's so much connection in our history, our existence, our origin, our future. We share that inseparable destiny with the buffalo. Our prophecy says, as long as there are buffalo, we will survive. The slaughter's been happening, and I think people are very deeply concerned about it, but have no way of expressing that concern, any action of substance. And so I think this walk is providing that for a lot of people. I think we have a lot to say about this. We are not driven by economics or politics. All we're concerned about is that this herd survive. The pipe in this buffalo hide wrapping was what the bundle was, what's been referred to as the sacred bundle. It wasn't that the bundle itself had any power, but people who carried it in prayer. And so that's what we took, is basically prayers. People's prayers through the buffalo. It was very hard, but in a way, I think it made its mark on all of us. The buffalo are important to us. We're not just saying this. This is what we can do, you know. It's how deeply we care. We have a relationship with the buffalo that it sustains us, but we owe not only the buffalo but the earth quite a bit. And so I think a lot of it is not about what we get, our treaty rights, but what we have to give back. And you know, we have ceremonies that are very mindful of taking care of the spirit of the buffalo. We don't believe that life begins at birth and ends with death, but our spirit lives again and again, and that the spirit of the buffalo, once the body is dead, the spirit must be tended to, and that, you know, it lives again. It's a cycle. And so, you know, with hundreds and hundreds of our relatives going to slaughter, it's very disturbing because their spirits aren't tended to, and they're trapped, and they can't live again. We have a relationship and an obligation. These relatives don't ever forget their obligation. They know their purpose. Human beings have forgotten theirs. And when we send our relatives to slaughter, human beings send them to slaughter for no good reason. You know, we have to at least help remind those human beings that make decisions. You know, this is very careless, a very careless thing to do. When as human beings, you know, we don't dare to think that we know everything, that we're in charge of managing, because we always make a mess of that. You know, and it's a big mess right now. Our ego thinks that everything is here for us. But it isn't. We're kind of out of whack with natural law. We just have to remind each other, remind ourselves, you know, that we have obligations. You know, remind ourselves we're just humble human beings that tend to make a mess of everything, you know, but that we need to pay attention to other beings that understand natural law.
And the work, you know, at Yellowstone is still there, always there. It's a titanic struggle, you know, between humanity and the earth.
We have to go back to another way of thinking and another way of living.
We have to reconnect, to heal our nation.